Jetzt läuft er. Jetzt läuft er. Ja gut, er wird sicherlich mit Verzögerung kommen 'n bisschen. Alles klar. Wusch. Ja, ist nicht so schlimm. Alles klar.
Microphone Sound muted.
Okay, and now you should also hear me. Yeah, I already talked about the starting grid while you weren't able to hear me. Peter Jones will be on pole position in front of here. That's Francisco Vasquez. He put the car in the wall, and it looks like he did that here as well. Yeah, you can see he already drifted, and then no, didn't put it quite in the wall yet. Ah, he spun. He spun, tries to do the 3-point maneuver, and is back. We're in the warm-up session currently. Peter Jones here, that's the man on pole position today. Behind him will Dovidas Laurinavicius on second, Mark Stwerker on third position. On fourth will be Saulius Laurinavicius. Fifth will be Alejandro Munoz. Sixth will be Callum Gunn. Seventh will be Sven Arne Andersen. Eighth will be Francisco Vasquez, who does a flip for us. And yeah, there was another driver on the server a second ago, but it appears he has gone. Yeah. Yeah, here's Francisco Vasquez lining up to go out for another warm-up session as it appears. Okay. Yeah. Apparently there have been difficulties for Hungarian driver Laszlo Teglas. We're apparently waiting for him, I think. As soon as he will be there, I'm sure, and without difficulties, I'm sure we're going to get racing. And we're going to go racing especially. While that's happening, we're watching Francisco Vasquez driving a bit in his Repsol Svinegel racing car to, you know, go on a little bit of a track ride. I would go on board, but on board is pretty loud. That's why we're not doing that. Yeah. I've said earlier, this is Macau, a tight street circuit in Asia. Peter Jones will be, like I said multiple times, on pole position, but that's no guarantee that he will win. He can make mistakes. Anyone can make mistakes because it's a really, really tight track. It has a couple of straights followed by very tight corners, and the corners get tighter and tighter, as you can see here with Francisco Vasquez. And I wouldn't say there won't be any crashes in the race, and that's what could make the race interesting, because Peter Jones could obviously make a mistake. Everyone here could make a mistake, and he was the quickest in qualifying by a fair amount of time. He might, if he falls down the order due to the mistake really or early on, he will have to fight back, and you know, due to him being faster, he might be able to pull off maneuvers in the race itself. We're now Christian Alvarez, also Shadow Senegal Racing, is now on the server as well. He will start as well. from the back. We were driving with Sven Arne Andersen a bit. Yeah. Laszlo Teglas is still missing. Here you can see how tight this track is. I will almost say notoriously tight. Laszlo Teglas now on the server as well. So hopefully we can start the race pretty soon. Here's the starting list. I'm your commentator, Philip Dome, by the way. I think I haven't said that yet. I will not start, even though I'm ranked as position 8 here. I will not start the race. So, yeah. Quali race starts now. We'll just go to the track. Peter Jones will start from pole position, like I said. Here it is. Second will be Dovidas Laurinavicius. Third will be Mark Stwerka. Fourth, Christian Alvarez. Fifth, Saulius Laurinavicius. Sixth, Munoz. Seventh, Gunn. Eighth, Teglas. Ninth, Sven. Then Vasquez and yeah, me in 11th, but I will escape as soon as the race starts. Stwerka now on track. Alvarez 4th. Laurinavicius 5th. Munoz 6th. Gunn 7th. Teglas 8th. Anderson 9th. And Vasquez 10th. The race is under way of an early start in the background. From one of the white cars, I think it was Callum Gunn. Yeah, well. This worked out good. Stwerka, oh, and huge crash! Huge crash! Who's involved? Saulius Laurinavicius is involved. Callum Gunn has flipped completely. What happened there? Let's rewatch it. Unfortunately, we missed that because of my stupidity. Let's rewatch this start. So someone had an early start. Mark Stwerka gets away perfectly. And then something happens here. Saulius Laurinavicius spins, and in front of him, Callum Gunn hits the wall and just flips completely. Yeah, here. Callum Gunn flips completely. Laurinavicius also with a spin. We're going live again, and another crash! Teglas and Munoz involved. Gunn is somehow still going. No front wing anymore. Stwerka leads in front of Peter Jones. Dovidas Laurinavicius with a spin. And now he stands completely in the middle of the track. Anderson has to drive around him. Here comes Munoz. Goes in front of Dovidas Laurinavicius as well. Callum Gunn has no front wing. He has to pit. Peter Jones directly behind Mark Stwerka. We have a fight for the win, for the qualifying race win. This is only the qualifying race to determine the starting grid for the main race. But I think we have a race for the victory now on our hand. A perfect start like we saw from Mark Stwerka. Got away perfectly. But can he keep the lead from Peter Jones, who will surely now attack? The attack comes on the outside. Has a lot more top speed. Stwerka tries to stick it in the inside. Still next to each other. No, Peter Jones can't pull it off. Peter Jones now leads the race again. He couldn't convert his pole position to an early lead, but he now goes past Mark Stwerka, who still made one place up at in this race so far. And who will now try to stick with Peter Jones, who might still make a mistake for the qualifying race. Oh, slide there from Peter Jones. And Saulius Laurinavicius has stopped the car. What happened there? He was in the middle of the pack and gets attacked, and no, nothing. And spins and puts it in wall again. loses more places and yeah, stops the race for him. Callum Gunn now in the pits and re-enters the race. And another spin! Francisco Vasquez with a spin! Three-point turn, not that easy here in Macau. Anderson against Laurinavicius now. Jones has pulled up against Zwerka. We have Sven Arne Andersen against Laurinavicius now for the 6th position here in Macau. This is a tight and twisty track here. And now the attack from Laurinavicius, and he goes past. Not a good exit there from Anderson. Dovydas Laurinavicius, he probably expected a better race. Started from P2, and now this happened. He pulls a gap immediately. Callum Gunn driving alone in P9. We don't really have now battles on track. Maybe... And oh! Vasquez and Laurinavicius in the wall! Munoz comes now across there. Oh, Vasquez has to look out there when he's driving backwards. Callum Gunn unfortunately a lap down, or 50 seconds down from these two. Vasquez is going again. Now Laurinavicius is going again. But he is leading, and so far he's doing the best job obviously on track because he's leading. But his worst moment was probably the start where Zwerka just drove absolutely past him. Alvarez was a slide apparently there. And Dovydas Laurinavicius has put the car into the box as well. Forfeits the qualifying race. Did something else happen except him spinning? They just simultaneously spin there. And then struggle for a long time to get back. And yeah, the car is simply too damaged to continue. Callum Gunn still now 8th. Then Vasquez 7th. Munoz in 6th behind Anderson. Directly behind him. This might be a... Yeah, this will probably be an attack for position here, for P5. The completely white car against the red and white car. And Munoz comes better out of that hairpin. On the start-finish straight. Or the pit entry. Better said. Now the attack from Munoz against Anderson. From Munoz against Anderson. And Munoz goes past, takes P5. 6th now Anderson, 7th Vasquez who goes to the pits. And 8th Callum Gunn. Can Callum Gunn now overtake Vasquez, who doesn't have a front wing? Did he do... There was another incident with him. Where did he lose? Oh, in this tight section he even flipped. Vasquez even flipped. Munoz is again behind Anderson. No. Yes, he is. What happened there? He already overtook him. He must have made a mistake, or Anderson must have done a brilliant move to re-overtake him. Here he's passed. Anderson sticks behind him, and with Yeah, simply with slipstream he goes back past. And now Munoz is already back past. A lot of things happening here. And that's how Munoz got past. Now the counter attack. Well, Peter Jones drives the fastest lap. And here is the counter attack from Munoz, who now is in front. Here is the leader. Tegla's kissing the wall. Alvarez not too far off. Peter Jones now in the last lap. Peter Jones now lapping Vasquez already. And we stick with Peter Jones, I think, for the rest of the lap. Because the race will be pretty soon be over. But let me tell you, Alvarez is now close to Teglas in the battle for P3. Oh, standing wheel there for Peter Jones. And Alvarez must have made a mistake, because Teglas has gone past. Or at least he's lost a lot of time. Yeah, he spun. Now let's get back to the lead. Peter Jones will shortly come across the line to win the qualifying race here in Macau. Second place will be Mark Stwerka. Third place will probably Laszlo Tegas, if he doesn't make a mistake. He's lucky. Alvarez seemed to be the faster person, but he did a mistake in the second to last lap. There is Alvarez behind, a lot behind. So Laszlo Teglas comes home in third. Christian Alvarez fourth, so he will start from position 4. Alejandro Munoz still has a little bit to go. He's 11 seconds behind Alvarez. He will finish in P5. Sven Arne Andersen will finish in P6. Callum Gunn, if he doesn't make a mistake, will finish in... Oh, no, he will definitely finish in P7 because Vasquez is already across the line as he was lapped. Callum Gunn 7th, Vasquez 8th, Dovidas Laurinavicius 9th with a did not finish, and Saulius Laurinavicius 10th with a did not finish. Congratulations to qualifying race winner Peter Jones. He will start from pole in the proper race, which will go over 12 laps again. So both pole positions secured. But Max de Werke had a really good start, pulled it off from the start, took the lead for a short time, and maybe he can do that in the second race again. We will see each other there in the second race. Okay. Yeah.
Channel switched. User was moved to your channel.
Hello, qualifying race winner Peter Jones. You're live on stream. Hello?
Hello, is this working now?
Yes, this is working now. Now I can hear you perfectly. You
Sorry
won.
about that.
You won the qualifying race. And to be honest, in quite impressive manner. The only flaw maybe on your performance was the start where you lost the lead temporarily to Max de Werke. How was that start from your view?
Well, I mean, I had been struggling with the starts with this car anyway, but I got an insane amount of lag, which I definitely wasn't expecting. So that kind of threw me a bit. So I did. I think I kind of veered over to the inside of the track. I think I actually got hit by Dovidas behind. But I mean, after that, the race was fine on the lag side, so it didn't affect me any time other than the start.
Okay, yeah, you overtook Mark. It looked relatively easy. You just basically breezed past him on the start-finish straight, and the corners behind that. It's because the corners are essentially full throttle corners until the first braking point. Was it as easy as it looked?
No, it never is with Mark. He always likes to defend. Going into the braking zone, he was just pulling to the inside to kind of let me know you're not having that. So I thought, well, if I go around the outside and just try and outbrake him, and then I can get around the outside. But he actually braked a lot later than I thought he would, and he actually started coming back up the inside. So it got a bit closer after that, but I was able to kind of hold the position after that.
Yeah, you had then a pretty good cushion of around 5 seconds in front of him pretty quickly. How much of the carnage behind you did you realize, or did you feel like you experienced while driving in front? Like you lapped Francisco Vasquez, and both Dovidas and Saulius Lauvinacius did not finish the qualifying race.
Yeah, well, I was in a voice chat with my teammate Callum Gunn, so
Yeah, he had a bit of a flip.
Yeah, he did. I heard quite a lot about that from his his shouting at random objects, but yeah, it was. I did hear a bit, I did see a bit, but it didn't really affect me up until I got caught behind Francisco when he came out the pit. So there's not really much I knew about it other than what Callum was telling me.
Okay, then thank you for taking the time, and hopefully you will have another good race in the main race later on.
Perfect, thank you.
No problem.
User disconnected from your channel.
Yes, and we are now ready for the proper race, for the race for the win here at this Macau World Cup race. Peter Jones, like I said, will start on pole position. Yeah. In front of Mark Stwerker. We'll wait a bit until everyone is on track to go through the starting grid for this second race. Yeah, pit lane is now open, as you hear it. Yeah. Peter Jones won the qualifying race. You heard him in the interview between the qualifying race and this race. Yeah, but now is where you get the bread. Peter Jones on 1, Mark Stwerker on the second position this time, not on third like in the qualifying race. He got himself up 1 position. Sure, he will go on track pretty soon. Anyway, third is Laszlo Teglas, fourth Christian Alvarez, fifth Alejandro Munoz, 6th Sven Arne Andersen, 7th Callum Gunn, 8th Francisco Vasquez, 9th Dovidas Laurinavicius, and 10th Saulius Laurinavicius. And the race is underway. Looked like no early start from no one this time. And Mark Stwerker again with a good start compared to Peter Jones, but he can take... What means take? He can keep the lead into the first corner. Stwerker tries to go into the slipstream, but stays behind. Here's now the corner where all the carnage in the first lap happened. Nothing happened this time. A lot of places already gained or lost. I've seen Laszlo Teglas lost a lot of places, and Stwerker in the wall, and he collides with Peter Jones. And I say Alvarez flies across the track, and Anderson is... Yeah, is kind of in a difficult situation because suddenly there was another. That's why. Oh, another. What is going on? That's Laurinavicius and Munoz. Callum Gunn now on third. He's flipped in a qualifying race, but now he's third. Second Stwerker in behind Peter Jones. Laurinavicius in fourth, in front of Laszlo Teglas, Christian Alvarez in sixth, Francisco Vasquez in seventh, Sven Arne Andersen in eighth, Saulius Laurinavicius in ninth, and Alejandro Munoz in 10th. Let's stick with Laszlo Teglas. He didn't have a good start. I think he was temporarily on 7th after the getaway. And there Vasquez again in the wall, in the foreground in this case. And Teglas has now Alvarez directly behind him. But you can't overtake here. It's way too tight. Oh, a mistake from Alvarez there. Anderson now in front of Laurinavicius. In the battle for the 8th position. Behind that is Munoz. Here's another battle between Teglas and Alvarez for P5. Now the attack from Alvarez will surely come into the braking zone. Or has Laszlo Teglas such good top speed that he can keep in front? No, the attack comes in the inside, but Teglas defends. And Anderson against Laurinavicius for P8. Anderson can probably keep himself in front here as well. We stay for the battle for 5th position. Alvarez. He is clearly the quicker guy here, and he kisses the wall there a little bit. He needs to find a spot to get past. He's faster in this tight part of the track, but he can't get past because it's tight, like I said. And spin by Teglas! Teglas spins, Alvarez goes through, and I think Callum Gunn with a spin as well. Yes, because Dovidas is now in third. Stverka still second. And Gunn is again with a mistake. Now Alvarez should surely come quickly. Vasquez is past. Where is Teglas? Teglas is ninth and again in the wall. It's going from bad to worse now for Teglas. Let's go through the order. In first place, Peter Jones. Then Mark Stverka. Then Dovidas Laurinavicius. Callum Gunn is fourth and in the pits. So he loses that place to Christian Alvarez. Francisco Vasquez goes past him. Zaulius Laurinavicius will probably go past him. Sven Arne Andersen will go past him. Laszlo Teglas, Callum Gunn now going again. And I think Callum Gunn might come out clear of Laszlo Teglas. Or is he? What is happening? Now Callum Gunn is getting worked in the pits. Lost a lot of time. Laszlo Teglas is now picking up time rapidly and goes now past him. What about Alejandro Munoz? Callum Gunn is going again. And Munoz is coming. It will be close between those two at the exit. No, Munoz pretty clearly in the end in front. And now we don't really have a battle for position here. And Vasquez does a mistake. Did he spin? No, he didn't spin it completely. Oh, and Munoz way too quick into that. And Callum Gunn goes past him again into P9. While Alejandro Munoz has to essentially spin the car around. And Vasquez is on Dovidas Lovina. What did happen here? Clearly Dovidas must have done a spin. Yes, he spun the car pretty heavily for the first time. But he didn't lose any positions with that. There surely must be a second mistake. And he spun it again. Similar manner, but this time he didn't. He lost more time and is now down in 5th position directly behind Vasquez. He was in P3 already. Vasquez now in P4. And Vasquez, wait, what happened there? That looked interesting. Laurinavicius now passed him. Can Vasquez stick it in again with another move on the straight? No, I think Laurinavicius is clear enough. No, Vasquez with a mistake and he spins. But Laurinavicius is too far away as Vasquez did a 360. And again Vasquez! What is Vasquez doing? Vasquez is cooling his loose and Laurinavicius as well! And Sven Arne Andersen, who drives pretty solidly, profits off of this. Now we have a 3-way battle for P5. Vasquez is losing his cool here. And again in the wall. every time he hits the wall, it's more difficult, and now Laurinavicius is past him. And again, Vasquez in the wall in the background. And again, Vasquez in the wall. Peter Jones now with another fastest lap. Vasquez is majorly struggling here against. And again! Where's Vasquez? Vasquez has pulled the car into the pits here. That's like the first spin we saw. Then he hits the wall a bunch of times, loses the place to Saulius. Laurinavicius. And then he's just gone. Callum Gunn will take the 8th place eventually now. Yeah. And Munoz will take the... Oh, Callum Gunn spun! He's now last again. Munoz is now in 8th. And this is the leader, Peter Jones. Once again, a very concentrated effort here to win this race, apparently. And there is still a lot of smoke because Callum Gunn is still spinning. What is wrong with Callum Gunn's car? Let's look at it. Here he's still in P8. And then he just spins. And just drives back a bunch of time. Yeah. Well, he's going again at least. And Alvarez, oh, that's hard in the wall. Yeah, and now the field is, you know, spread apart pretty evenly. Like, there are no battles pretty much on track. Oh, and Laurinavicius hard in the wall. But Sven Arne Andersen is too far off to profit off of it. Just driving a little bit with the lead car. And just going through the rankings, but I think nothing really changed. Gun is sliding around as it appears, as there's a lot of smoke, tire smoke probably. And Laszlo Teglas has caught up now slowly with Sven Arne Andersen, so we will get a fight for that 6th position now. How long can Andersen keep now P6 in front of Teglas? The question is just where is the attack going to come? Is it definitely not here? Is the attack going to come on the start-finish straight? Oh, locking up of the tires for Andersen. Now probably the attack is going to come from Teglas. Now the attack comes from Teglas on the inside against Andersen, and he knows when to, you know, when the fight is essentially lost. Yeah, and now he pulls off a little bit. And it's spun by Teglas! As soon as I say he's going to pull off a little bit, he spins the car. And now it's the question, where's Munoz? Can Munoz get that position? No, Teglas is running again. Munoz is, yeah, still 12 seconds off. But Andersen, he's slow and steady. He keeps P6. He just doesn't make a major mistake. Peter Jones still leading. It's a bit over half time now. Mark Stwerka on 2nd, Alvarez 3rd, Dovidas in 4th, Saulinavicius in 5th. He is, yeah, Saulius Laurinavicius is closing down the gap to Dovidas Laurinavicius. 6th is Sven Arne Andersen, 7th Laszlo Teglas, 8th Alejandro Munoz, and 9th Callum Gunn. And that looked like another mistake from Laszlo Teglas. I might mistaken here. Let's drive a little bit with the leader. He is, let's see, yeah. He is essentially, him and Mark Stwerka, I would say, almost perfect today. Surely, the dangerous part is the lapping, and he will have to lap with his pace, and he will have to lap Alejandro Munoz next. It isn't, I wouldn't say Munoz is pretty much a danger. He was a little bit unlucky with the collisions at the start. I think more of the problem will be Laszlo Teglas, if he gets there, but I'm pretty sure he will get into like a window of overtaking there. I can already see Alejandro Munoz in front of him. And Laszlo Telas has caught up again with Sven Arne Andersen. Oh, this is a difficult breaking point. I would say one more lap, and I think then will be the attack from Teglas for P6. He is definitely the quicker driver of the two, but he's more mistake prone, so to speak. I can't see Teglas get past him by a mistake of Anderson. He's too consistent to make a mistake. Soon the attack should happen, while Munoz has caught up with them, I think, for 6 seconds within this lap. Oh, standing wheels for Anderson, but he keeps the position. Look how close Munoz now is. This might become a three-way for the 6th position, a three-way battle. Depending on how long Anderson can keep Teglas behind him. Is the attack coming? The attack is coming. But Anderson seems to be the faster guy on the straight. Teglas looks for the inside. No. And Munoz in the back with a lock up. Well, we can see that Saulius Laurinavicius is in front of Dovidas now. What happened there? It looks like Dovidas waited for him here. And now we're here back with Sven Arne Andersen and Laszlo Teglas. Did Teglas stick the move already? It doesn't look like that. And Munoz is now directly behind them, as you can see. This is now a proper three-way battle for position 6. And I can't see Anderson make a mistake to lose position 6. This is again heartbreaking point. Now surely the attack must come. Oh, and Taylor hits the wall there in the background. Could that help Anderson to keep his 6th position now? Now the attack comes. Will he try it on the inside? He sticks back to get more slipstream. Sticks out. Move on the inside. And he spins it! And he loses the place to Munoz as well. Anderson keeps position 6 and now has Munoz behind him instead of Teglas. And now the attack from Munoz. Can he stick the move? Anderson keeps fighting. And oh! Huge crash for Munoz. Who has disappeared inside the wall. And now he hits Peter Jones. Peter Jones is now the wrong way around. And there comes Mark Stwerker, who now takes the lead. This is unfortunate, and this is what I said earlier with the lapping. Anderson still for Teglas. Where's Munoz? Munoz is somewhere in the wall. He's sticking in the barrier, and will now lose. He is trying to leave the barrier, but is struggling. Alvarez now lapping him. Now he's free again. Stwerker now in the lead against Peter Jones, and now we have a battle for the win. This was really unfortunate for Peter Jones. He was dominating the race. Munoz, well, that has put the car into the pits, meaning that Callum Gunn will shortly take P8. Which is... He was where he was stuck. That was just really unfortunate for Munoz, who was about to take P6. Well, that happened. Anderson is now past... Teglas is now past Anderson, is he? Again in this corner. Now he's taken Anderson. Peter Jones in the pits. Jones having to pit. And that is most likely the win for Mark Stwerker. Jones now even loses the 2nd position to Christian Alvarez. Whereas Saulius Laurinavicius, he's too far away. Peter Jones now driving off again. That 3-way battle between Teglas, Anderson and Munoz might have gifted the win to Stwerker. Unbelievably. Peter Jones, the entire weekend, the fastest guy, but the race is over when the fat lady sings. I said it before, lapping could be the case that could be difficult, but I also said Munoz might not be the problem, boss. That was just really unfortunate with how Munoz was bugging into the barrier and stood in the middle of the track. Peter Jones now with a lot of anger probably in his stomach. But Stwerker will now probably win the race. Unbelievably. He has 2.5 laps to go to win it. Two more laps for Marc Stwerker until he wins this Formula 3 Cup race in Macau. He's now getting close to Anderson, who he will lap. And Saulius und Dovidas now pretty close again to each other. Can Dovidas now stick a move? Earlier it looked like he let him past. Now with Slipstream. Lithuanian battle for P4. Dovidas on the outside, Saulius on the inside. Saulius defends his fourth position. They're running into traffic. Callum Gunn is set in front of them. Saulius hits the wall. And Callum Gunn spun, but he spins out of the way for these two. So he doesn't stand in their way. That is one way to get rid of the lapping problem. And Saulius now with a mistake. Dovidas can't profit off of it. Can Dovidas now attack Saulius? He's close on the outside of the first corner, which is full throttle. Now on the inside, and he goes past. Can Saulius counter? Now Saulius goes to the inside. The counter comes. They touch, but Dovidas stays in front. We now go back to the leader, Marc Stwerker, who is on his, I think, his last meters to win this race. And he wins the race in Macau, spinning over the line. Second place will probably go to Christian Alvarez. And yes, Christian Alvarez comes home in second. Peter Jones in third. Probably, unless he does a mistake. Yeah, that's P3 for Peter Jones. He won't be happy with that result. And Dovydas Laurinavicius now in the battle with Saulius Laurinavicius. Where's Saulius? He has lost a lot of time, so Dovydas will probably get P4. And that's now the case. Dovydas Laurinavicius becomes 4th. Saulius Laurinavicius 5th. Teglas is already through, I think, as well as Sven Arne Andersen. And Callum Gunn, I think he still has to go over the line to finish in P8. Yes. Callum Gunn comes out in 8, but Mark Stwerker is in the end the winner of this race. He had a lot of luck. Peter Jones would have won that race if there wasn't that situation with Munoz. But in the end, you also need a little bit of luck to win those races.
Channel switched. Microphone activated.
Great result for Mark Stwerker. 15 laps of Macau and he wins it. Puts it now into the wall, but you know, he's on his way into the pits. And he does some donuts for the water. Yeah, what a great race. I don't know if there are drivers who want to be interviewed after this race. Yeah, but a really great race, and he won it, Mark Stwerker. And no one really didn't expect him to win 3 laps before the end. But the collision between Anderson, Teglas and Munoz caused him to win this race unexpectedly.
User joined your channel.
And I'm now joined by the winner, Mark Stwerker. Mark, to be fair, the win, a little bit lucky tonight, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That was just pure luck today, and yeah, still the win is the win, and I'm feeling fine.
Yeah, this time you couldn't win the start against Peter Jones. He got a better getaway than in the qualifying race. But what was running through your mind when you suddenly saw Peter Jones spun at the point where you overtook him for the lead?
To be honest, I realized that he was slowing down the laps before already. Don't know if he was saving fuel or stuff like that. But I didn't take a look on the live timing during his spin, so I actually didn't see it till I was right beside him. I was absolutely surprised. I don't know what happened there, if he got taken out by back marker or something like that. And I was even more surprised that he went to the pits after I overtook him, because he seemed still faster than me. I don't know what actually happened.
Well, what happened was, because we were on it a long time, Anderson was in front of Munoz and Teglas, and in that duel, Munoz got basically taken out, and he flew around a bit and stuck a little bit to the barrier, and that was the time when suddenly Peter Jones came around that corner and drove into him and lost that win. I was surprised as well that he went in the pits, because I had the feeling he was still the faster driver between you two. What did you know at the point where he went to the pits that you had now won that race?
Well, in the end, I still had to get it back, get the car to the finish line, because I definitely didn't want to end up like Peter in this race, and that's probably one of the best situations you can see, one of the best examples that you can lose a win just in a blink of an eye. And I still had to bring it back home, but I was doing it carefully in the end. Second last corner was was very surprising to me, when Teglas stood spun on the main lane, and I had absolutely no chance to avoid him. But somehow I just clipped his front wing, and everything seemed to be fine. So that's probably a point where I still could have lost it. In the end it worked out. First World Cup win for me, and I'm fine with it.
You're gonna take it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Any finishing words today before we end the stream you want to tell the people watching this?
First of all, thanks to all the guys competing throughout this year's events, throughout our seasons. This is not the end of the year at all. We've still got the Bathurst 200, but it was my last race as a competitor this year, and thanks to all other drivers, to all supporters we had, also through some really bad times. Thanks for all the viewers out there still watching our races, and I guess we will be back on track and see each other in 2021 with our first of all with our Race of Champions, and then I guess with the season opener of TCC again. And I call out Peter Jones for the challenge of the TCC Championship 2021 already. Prepare yourself. You're the one to beat me.
All right. Then also thank you for me for being allowed to commentate today for you guys. And then like I said, probably until the next time. And everyone watching, and you as well, Mark, have a